Dragon Ball FighterZ on the Nintendo Switch. Is it coming out? Is it not coming out? Let's talk about it. If you want to know my opinion, yes, it is definitely coming out. But let's first look at how the rumors first started. What Bandai Namco's response was, more specifically Hiroko Tomoko's response to it, the producer working on Dragon Ball FighterZ, the person that has pretty much been giving all the interviews. So let's take a journey as to how all of that stuff happened and how I came to the conclusion that yeah, Dragon Ball FighterZ is 100% coming out for the Switch, it's just not coming out yet. When the game was first announced, many players noticed that it wasn't coming out for the new hot platform, the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo hasn't sold a platform this well since the Wii, and this one has been taken not only by the casuals but also the most hardcore gamers. It's a new innovative concept and a lot of people are getting their hands on it, so when they see a Dragon Ball game, obviously the question is, where's the Switch version? The thought of playing this game on the platform that everyone had just bought enticed many gamers, not to mention being able to take Dragon Ball FighterZ with you anywhere you want, so you can practice the game, get better at it, or just take part in whatever the single player content ends up being. So obviously they took the question to Hiroko Tomoko, who's been doing most of the interviews, a producer in Dragon Ball FighterZ. And in an interview with Shonen Games, the reply angered a lot of gamers, as she basically said, "We're currently working on Xenoverse 2 for the Switch, so we want players to first go there and then we can talk about FighterZ." Well, who's the genius who thought of this brilliant idea? So we need to buy Xenoverse, probably for the second time because we already own it, and if it sells, only then we'll get FighterZ on the Switch. Well, that's not happening, is it? And that's probably how many fans interpreted that answer and got really angry, because they don't want to buy Xenoverse again, what are you talking about? But the reality of it might be a lot simpler. Bandai Namco simply didn't want to discourage Xenoverse 2 sales by announcing FighterZ for the Switch so soon. Xenoverse doesn't have the best of reputations. Sure, a lot of people love it, there's a very good community around that game, but in general, it doesn't have the best of reputations. And on the other hand, FighterZ is receiving a lot of love. So if FighterZ got announced, a lot of Dragon Ball fans could have skipped on buying Xenoverse 2 and would just wait for FighterZ to be released. And that is probably what Hiroki meant when she said that they want players to go to Xenoverse first, and then we'll talk about FighterZ. It's not that we need to sell Xenoverse on the Switch in order to make FighterZ for the Switch. It's just we don't want to get in the way of the marketing campaign for Xenoverse by announcing a Switch version of FighterZ. So we'll get out of their way, we're just talking about Xenoverse on the Switch. Later, after Xenoverse is out, we'll talk about FighterZ. Recently, some interviews reinforced this point of view. In another interview during EVO in a French website called Gameblog, Hiroki revealed that if people keep demanding it, they might eventually make a Nintendo Switch version. It will just probably come out at a later date. So all of a sudden, we're not talking about sales, we're not talking about Xenoverse 2 selling well on the Switch in order for them to make Dragon Ball FighterZ for the Switch, we're talking about fan demand. And now we've got Christopher Sabat, the voice of Vegeta, tweeting about it. There's an online petition with thousands of people already. I mean, the demand is obviously there, and this petition is only a fraction of the people who actually want Dragon Ball FighterZ on the Switch. But so far, given all this information, it's still very much unconfirmed. It all is depending on fans demanding the game or not. But they are demanding it, so it will probably come out. But I will argue that the Nintendo Switch version is already well under development. They're not waiting to see if fans are demanding it. And the reason for that is another quote from this Gameblog interview. But before we get to that quote, let's talk about the rumors that started spreading around the Nintendo Switch not being powerful enough to run Dragon Ball FighterZ, and that was the reason why a Nintendo Switch version of FighterZ was not announced. This rumor probably started spreading because of the news that Xenoverse 2 would have some features cut because the Switch couldn't handle them. So Dragon Ball FighterZ, a brand new game with amazing visuals, there's no way this tiny Nintendo platform could handle it too. But the fact is, a 2.5D fighter ends up not being nearly as demanding as a game like Xenoverse. And Hiroko Tomoko actually dispelled these rumors by saying, "We are not experiencing any difficulties with the Switch version of Xenoverse 2. So heck, they already have a Switch version. They're already testing the game on Nintendo Switch. I mean, it's not complete, but neither is the game, but they're working on a version for the Switch, and it's working. If they didn't have any plans to release Dragon Ball FighterZ on the Nintendo Switch, they wouldn't be spending time and resources working on a Nintendo Switch version. So unless something ridiculous happens, like the game being poorly received at launch, or suddenly the fan base deciding that they prefer Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, I'm sorry. There's no way. Unless something crazy like that happens, we will definitely be getting a Nintendo Switch version. Now, the Nintendo Switch version won't be coming out day and date with the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. In fact, I don't even know if the PC version is coming out day and date with the console version. But the only reason for that, I believe, is just to maximize sales on Xenoverse 2. That's it. As simple as that. I thought talking about Dragon Ball FighterZ coming to the Switch or not would be a complex subject, but it really doesn't look like it. Maybe I'm underestimating the subject, and let me know if you think that. And also, would you like to play Dragon Ball FighterZ on the Nintendo Switch? Would this be your platform of choice? I am concerned about the controllers. I mean, the Pro controller is fine, but a game like this usually has a lot of hardcore fighting game community fans. Does the Switch even support fight sticks? Are there fight sticks out there for the Switch? I don't know. Let me know more in the comments down below. Anyway, if you're looking forward to Dragon Ball FighterZ, check out this video with the most wanted characters. These are the characters that the community is asking for. If you're in the mood for something else, you can also click right here. But as always, thank you very much for watching. My name's Globku, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!